Frogloks that are robed. They sort of look like a sort of shamanistic. They have a shamanistic look to them, and they are consulting one another. And this goes by for several minutes. So the king, he does turn around, and King Egorf tells you, "Man, I will send Dembe, one of my messengers, out with you. We want to find out if this orc story is true. If it is true, then we will plan for an attack. If it is false, if it is not true, then you will die, your friends will die, and your small settlement will die, and we will have our island back, one way or the other, man."
Great King Egorf, I would not be so foolish as to enter your temple with such a stupid lie that could be easily proven false. I will take your man and show him this massive orc fleet encroaching on your island. And we'll do it quick. We'll be back very soon.
Okay, so Denbei, a couple other Frogloks, you all go to the point to where you've looked down into the bay, and now it's starting to become a dusk. Most of the day has gone by, and the Frogloks are in amazement. They had no clue that all of these orcs were down there. I mean, you can see that there's probably 500 orcs on them. I mean, there are orcs building. I mean, they are chanting in unison as they're building war machines, as they're building other docks. They're drudging. They're actually drudging out like an inlet, and they're building fortifications. It looks like the keep is somewhat almost constructed. The outer walls, a lot of the towers inside. You can see that the towers have like a giant war machine trebuchet that looks like they rotate around. There's guard towers all over the place, and it looks like a very fortified position. There's you count almost 12 ships. There's 10 from the actual Orc Lord fleet, and then there is your ship, the Emerald Queen's there, and also the Proud Mary. So there's a lot of ships, and that's not even including the half dozen barges or so, and other working the floating working platforms where they're actually drudging out the water and taking the sand, making more beach, extending it out, and this is a mass project going on, and this has actually been going on for quite some time now. This would probably take at least months to do. I mean, probably 3-4 months to get to the state of progress to where the orcs are. So you guys are checking them out for I'd say about 15-20 minutes. Now, what is everybody else doing inside the temple? Agnes and Vance and Mordecai. I mean, they're showing you no hospitality whatsoever.
We're still in the king's presence.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you're in the king's presence on your knees.
No way to communicate with them besides gestures and stuff. So I'm just gonna sit here and be on my P's and Q's.
Anything between yourselves, or?
Do you think that captain has sold us out, Agnes? Is he run off and left us here? What's going on out there?
If he does, I get to kill him.
We're surrounded by Froglocks. How the devil are we going to get out to kill him in the first place?
Chances are they'll bring him back here to kill him.
What is more?
Are we shackled?
No, you're not. No, you're not shackled. So, yeah. No.
Okay.
Mordecai, you seem rather calm. I saw you licking your eyebrows. Is this some sort of a secret code amongst frog-like species?
Well, I figured they're the only other people on the island that can do it besides me. So.
Right.
Yeah.
We didn't draw any sort of
trying to find common ground.
Right, building bridges here, Mordecai. I don't know where the devil is, that captain.
I look over to Dinbei and say,
Ten, but
I have great respect
You like that, Vance?
yeah, but
for the Froglok people, and I would
Yeah,
not lie
man,
to
we
you.
powerful. I see you not lie to us. The king will be happy, but you will have to appease the gods, Captain.
Do you speak of in which way do you speak?
You will see when the king talks to you.
And do you mean the god Tibber or the gods in general?
Oh, no, just Tibber. Tibber is the only god. Tibber is the one true god.
whoa.
Yes, of course. But there are people think there are others, but I, like you, know that Tibber is the god.
Look at Mordecai. Unbelievable. So you guys get back to the temple. About a half an hour goes by, 45 minutes. Captain Tom shows back up. And, you know, he's not being, it doesn't look like, he's being led, you know, back into the chamber, but, you know, Dembe and several of the other Froglocks, they consult the king. And this is going on for about 10 minutes. And
Captain, what the devil did you tell those things while you were out there? Did you tell them to kill us all and let you go? What's going on here?
That's exactly what I told them. Prepare
I
yourself.
suspected as much. Agnes, get your blade ready. Cut this fool down.
Vance, of course I didn't tell them that. I showed them the orc
I
encampment.
jest, Captain. I jest.
And now
But
they said that Dinbei said to me that we would have to appease Tibber. And I don't know what that means, but we're about to
I don't like
find
the
out.
connotations that word carries with it, Captain.
Well, we'll see, but again, keep
Maybe
in mind...
a rice cake or something on his shrine. I think it's going to be a little more involved than that.
a rice cake.
Well, listen.
Nice.
You have to keep in mind the situation we're in. If they come back and say everyone's got to cut their hand off to appease Tibber, we're gonna do it. Because if we don't, they're just gonna kill us anyway.
How am I ever going to play my lute with one hand, Captain? I'm not a ship's captain. I can't run about one-legged and everything's all hunky-dory. No, man, I need both my hands.
How are you gonna play the lute when you're dead, Vance? How are you gonna do that?
I'd rather be dead.
My heart's
Well,
beating like a rabbit, Captain. I'm terrified.
I'm sure you'll have that choice, Mordecai, but I will be cutting my hand off if that's what they tell us to do.
All right. You're first for the hand severing, then, Captain. I turned to look at this.
So as the king, you can hear his bellowous laugh, and it's echoing throughout the chamber. You can see that he has several, you know, large conch shells hanging off of him. You know, sort of like on a seaweed type of woven twine. You would be able to tell that with your nautical experience, Captain Tom. You could definitely tell. These are massive conch shells.
Seagoing now.
This is the first
sorry.
time that
I'm
my
sorry.
nautical insight has come into play.
Please, I'm not even going to make you do a roll because you have 30 years of seafaring experience, Captain.
I get a +1 for every year of experience. I have a +30.
Exactly.
Seagoing knowledge.
Okay.
So as you know, the frog comes, he, you know, kind of waddles towards you, but this isn't a. The king looks like he can hold his own. I mean, the king is built. I mean, he's huge, and he tells you that he has consulted with his other elders, and they will help you. On one condition. There's two conditions. The first condition is no exceptions. All of the humans must leave the island immediately. The second condition is, man, Tibba needs to be appeased. We've been here for 13,000 years, man. 13,000 from the likes of your kind, Captain. Your kind has kept us trapped in here for 13,000 years, man.
Mike, What do you mean?
The humans! The humans!
What's he saying, Captain? I don't like the look upon his face.
It's fine. Be quiet, Vance. What do you mean? I certainly haven't kept you here. I came to see you, to tell you that you...
That no matters to Tibba, man. No matters to Tibba.
I know.
Do
Tibber.
you want my help? Do you want to live?
Yes, both very much.
Then we need a human sacrifice to our god Tibba. One of you must sacrifice your life, no exceptions, to Tibber.
Vance will do it.
What is he saying, Captain? Tell me that my worst fears have not come true.
I will give you several minutes to think about it. And he turns around and starts to speak towards, speaks with his shamans again.
Well, I've got good news and less good news.
Let's hear the less good news. Out with it, man.
Well, one of us is going to have to die.
Oh, good heavens. I kind of swoon a bit there.
Feeling a little lightheaded, Vance?
Arms, yeah.
But to the good news,
And drops.
the rest of us
My God.
will live,
It's gonna happen eventually, Vance.
and the Froglocks will help us kill all the orcs. So
Won't they just let us leave the island? Can't we just all just pretend we never even met each other and just go home, Captain? Does
I would
somebody have
say
to die?
that's quite out of the realm of possibilities at this point.
Mordecai, take one for the team, man.
No, Mordecai will not. Killian, he gets up from his knees and he says, I will make the sacrifice.
Killian, don't do it, man. You have many years ahead of you.
No, Vance, these white ghost shivers, it's inside my bones. I just...
Oh, good.
I think it would be better for me to sacrifice myself, and plus it would give me much pleasure knowing that I will be going to my deity in the next
Killian,
life.
how could you go to the grave having never lain with a woman, man? There's so much of life ahead of you. Good Lord, Killian. And I kind of like fake cry over on Mordecai's shoulder, Oh God, thank God somebody offered to do it, Mordecai.
So he does. He starts to, he pulls out of his backpack, he pulls out some oil and starts to kind of, oil up his armor a little bit and tells everybody he wants to at least look presentable as if he's going to offer his life to the greater cause. And
Where would you
Killian, I've never seen a more braver figure.
Where would you like your possessions to be returned to?
You can ship them back to the temple.
I'll make sure that happens for him.
Thank you, my friend. I know some of us may have had our differences, and he looks towards Vance. But
Killian, I've always counted on you as my friend. Little jests and bobs between friends is a common thing where I come from.
I understand that,
lengths.
Vance. Vance, I think this disease has gotten the worst of me, has gotten the best of me. I just do not think that I'm going to last much longer. So
you wish to die a noble death. How heroic!
It is a blessing in
I will remember
disguise.
you in verse, friend. Make sure of it. People will hear of your sacrifice in ages to come.
Mighty Frog King, we have complied with your deal.
Oh, yeah, man. So are you going to sacrifice yourself, Tom?
No, it won't be me, but
Tibba, he wants a human.
Yes, it will be
Captain.
this man here.
Ask them how he will die.
How is he to die?
He pulls out a very long dagger from his cloth that's around him. Shh! Very beautiful dagger with blood dripping off of it. And he says,
Mordecai, don't get any ideas.
Sacrificial dagger, man. The blood is drained into the dagger, and then Tibba drinks as the tribute to him, he will drink the blood of the sacrifice. This will appease the god. And when Tibber is appeased, then I am appeased, and I will help you. But you must leave the island, settlement and all.
Of course. Hail, mighty Tibber.
Captain, what's all this? What's going on here with the knife?
Everyone on your knees.
Oh, okay.
Hail, praise Tibber.
Hail Tibber.
You know, Killian's down there coughing.
Captain, Killian, would you rather me see if he'll let me do this and end it for you swiftly?
So
Mordecai, that's not an option.
at about
At the hand of a friend.
At about this time, you start to hear a commotion behind you. And you can see that there, actually Dembe and one of the other Froglocks has a Sahuagin that they are literally just dragging. And it looks like this Sahuagin has been stabbed. And he's bleeding, and you know he's leaving a trail of blood. And Dembe basically tells the king that they found this Sahuagin on the premises, and he tried to beg to speak to the humans here, but he attacked us, and we had to defend ourselves. So there is a Sahuagin here, and he looks up towards everyone, and he looks towards Vance and said and he's blah 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 blahing to you, Vance, and you're having no clue what this thing is saying. And Tom, you can hear that he's saying that a ship with more humans has arrived on the East Coast. Some captain that was looking for you, and he is here to take the Sahuagins off of the island. And then he kills over and just dies.
Captain, what's going on here?
It looks like Captain Sokka has arrived.
Oh, the one you sent the pigeon to. Oh, I couldn't be the damned archmage. Is the pigeon carrier service slow going to the mainland or something?
He's further away. But anyways, we're in the middle of a ritual to a frog god.
I understand that. But what are they say? What are they saying? Saka, whatever the devil, Sacagawea, I believe. He's arrived on the eastern of the islands.
Yeah, just before the Sahuagins. You know, you guys had actually been to the eastern part of the island.
Yes.
And yeah, but the Sahuagin had told you just before he died that a human, didn't give a name, but said that there was a human there with a large ship, and basically is taking his people back to, taking his people back home.
And I'll even say to the Frog King, I'll say, Mighty King, see, I am already keeping my bargain.
Man. And how are you keeping your side of the bargain, keeping dealings with these rabble that try to keep us locked into the temple?
I am shipping them away. You will have your island with no fight at all from them. They are leaving as we speak.
Looks over towards Dembe, and Dembe and a couple Froglocks they storm off. They grab a couple other spears off of a sort of like a very nice coral-made rack that's on one of the side walls, and they're just hopping away, ribbit. Basically, you're hopping away, and they're looks like I don't know where they're going. You have no clue. Well, I know where they're going, but you have no clue where they're going. The king doesn't say anything, and Dembe and a couple other Froglocks say storm off. So we will sacrifice the human when the sun is down. That is when Tibber will be appeased. Alright, so about an hour goes by. Killian, he's pretty much been in prayer the whole time, you know, kind of kneeling and reading a lot, you know, reading his book, you know, clutching his holy symbol, his, you know, all the other religious iconage that he's got in front of him. He's writing, you know, scriptures down into his book, and you can see that Killian's in pretty bad shape. He's got blood coming out of his ears. You know, his nose is continually bleeding. He's coughing up blood, and Killian just doesn't look good. So, as all of this happens, you know, the next hour, and as you're walking back out to the temple, and you're going to the top of the pyramid where this altar is, you know, Killian tells you that please just make sure that my belongings go back to the temple. That is where they belong, and also my body also. And
of course, man, of course.
So everything, you know, everything goes by. Killian sacrifices himself. Killian is now dead. You know, the Froglok, the king, basically just thrusts the dagger directly square into Killian's heart. You know, Killian really doesn't, you know, there's no sign of, actually it's more like a sign of relief for Killian, because he's been in such agony over having these white ghost shivers that have just taken over his body. And you guys kind of feel a sense of peace. I mean, I'm sure you guys would probably feel some remorse, but you know, Killian's sacrifice definitely did appease the frog god. So
bit of survivor's guilt too, you know.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah, Igorf takes one of those huge conchs, you know, that's hanging by that Captain Tom was able to use his nautical wisdom, that he blows this horn, and this horn is loud, and all of a sudden you start to see hundreds and hundreds of Froglok starting to come out of the huts in the courtyard, starting to come out of the temple, and they're all lining up in lines down below in the temple. And this goes on very, very quickly. I mean, these Frogloks are quick. And the Froglok king basically has a speech, talks to all of his Frogloks, points over towards the north, and says that in the morning, before the sun comes up, we will prepare to attack the orc. And
when he does that, I'm going to say, you know, to him and Sahagan, I'll say, mighty
Hammer,
mighty
thank you very
Igor,
much for the follow, Hammer.
As I told you, this means a great deal to me, and these orcs have taken quite a bit from me and my companions here. So if you would permit it,
Miss McPuff Daddy, thanks for the follow, McPuff Daddy.
We would go into battle with your men and fight these orcs.
Yeah, man. You go get your other soldiers from camp. We will make camp here tonight. We will strategize, and we will attack the orcs in the morning, man. That strategize word really fucked me up there.
Yes, it doesn't roll off.
It doesn't when you're trying. Yeah, it doesn't when you're trying to do the Jamaican man.
It's very hard to say in Sahagan. Very, very difficult.
Right. So what's going on, Captain?
We need to return to Gatron's Point.
Oh yes, let's be off.
Well, not exactly.
We're just going to leave Killian's body here as crow food, or
we're taking that with us, of course. But we've got to return and get all of the men that we can muster and return here to attack tomorrow morning.
Okay. I think there's 22 men total, but every little bit helps, I suppose.
Well, there's 80 soldiers. There's like 112 total.
Captain Saka brought some more guys.
Okay,
so
I thought there was 22 guards. Maybe I have been
so
mistaken.
Also, I would like to oversee the Sahagan getting onto the ship and leaving. as part of our deal that we made earlier.
All right. We can swing by that way, Captain. I don't know. It's going to be dark. I don't know if we can be able to find our way. You use the stars, I suppose. I know you're good at all that. I guess
It'll
we'll
be
able to
fine.
find our way.
We'll get there.
What's motor?
Yeah, they're letting us go, Dave. I mean,
They are.
Okay.
They definitely are. He is. Looks like he's starting to. There is a table that is brought out onto the top of the temple. You can see that they are basically making a model of, the shore down there and the inlet, and they're starting to build what appears to be like a map that they're going to, lay some strategy down on attacking this thing.
Okay.
So the Froglocks are fierce
Strategy.
warriors. You can definitely tell that the Froglocks are they're definitely militarist. They have a very strong influence of military.
Right.
That's for sure. Nice teeth.
Very organized.
They are
and
very
everything.
very organized. They've had nothing but 13,000 years to become organized. So
Okay.
they are organized. So you guys get back
see,
to
Vance, I told you this would work.
Gastron's
Very
Point. I guess
catchy.
you guys are going.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we're gonna
okay,
go
we
by
want
the
to swing
Sahuagin
by
village first.
Sacagawea
Okay.
ship.
Well, when you get back to the village, there's nothing there. I mean, the village is
Right.
there, but all of the Sahuagins are gone. And
That's what I
you
figured,
you
but-
rush over to the east coast, where you think would be probably the best landing point for them. And you can tell that there were, quite a few boats here. There's probably half a dozen dinghy boats picking these things up.
We can
but
see markings.
they're gone, and you can see a ship sailing off into the distance as the final rays of light are going over the over the horizon. So you
we would
guys,
assume it went off. It went
Okay.
off without a hitch.
yeah.
You
There's
know, everything.
no other dead bodies or
Okay.
no signs of any kind of battle or anything like that. So as you get back to Gastron's Point, you see a crazy sight. So this place is lit up. I mean, huge. I mean, there's these tiki lights. I mean, like the equivalent of tall tiki torches everywhere. This place is lit up as in daylight. And you can see there are just people scrambling everywhere. And you've never seen the amount of people as you see here now. It looks like Gastron's Point is being tore down. You can see that there are just tons of ships, all these small boats, and you can see off several hundred yards offshore, you can see that there are a lot of other ships that are offshore, and you can see these boats that are rowing out, they're coming back. Vance, you go over to check on your
shanty, yes.
shanty, and the shanty's already got the roof taken off of it.
What?
It seems like a lot of Gastron's Point has already been taken apart. You guys are scrambling all over the place. The cemetery doesn't even look like it was ever there. I mean, the mausoleum is gone. The gate is gone. All of the grave markers are gone. Nothing is there. It doesn't look like it even existed.
My God. I kind of fall to my knees before the shanty and I pick up some sand. What?
Fedbox
Finally found a
242,
boat to
thank you
call
for the
my
follow,
own.
Fedbox.
Wait a
What
minute.
in the devil?
Who was the dude across from the shanty that was making my potions?
A slant.
What's
Slants
Slant's place look like?
tore down too. I mean, everything is being torn down. I mean, there must
Okay.
be, probably 10 workers on every shanty, and even the crab shack everything is being torn down. And
Do
it
we
looks
see
like
anybody we know.
oh yeah, you can see a couple of the you can
Yes,
see
I'm looking for
Tasha.
Ellis.
You can see Tasha. You can see, I mean, everything is literally being taken apart. I mean,
Do I
there's
see Captain
what's
Sokka?
going on, Tasha?
you do not see Captain Sokka. You don't even see his ship.
Okay.
So what now, Mordecai?
Tasha, what's happening? What's going on?
Master Sergeant told us this morning that Gastron's Point is being relocated for some apparent reason. I don't
Okay.
know why, but
Thank you.
we're being moved.
Where is the Master Sergeant?
He is somewhere around here. He was somewhere around here a little earlier. Actually, I think he's over somewhere
Captain.
towards the Armada office. I think I saw him going that way.
Captain, we need to go find him pronto.
I agree. Let's go get him.
Okay, so you guys are looking around. Everybody, I guess, would be looking for Master Sergeant Broad.